What's up, everyone? Chimera45 here, and welcome to my very first attempt at a review episode. This is going to be on the first episode of the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, this is going to contain spoilers. This is going to contain plots from the show, which are spoilers, and it's going to contain my thoughts on it. So if you don't want to be spoiled, if you don't want to hear any thoughts on it, or if you don't want to know anything at all that's going on in the show because you haven't checked it out, don't continue watching this video. But with that said, let's get right into it. So the beginning of the episode shows us Mike Peterson, who is, I don't know if he's someone from the comics, but in this show he is superpowered. He witnesses an explosion and climbs up a building to save someone who's inside. But he also draws the attention of the media, people all around him, and the attention of one Miss Sky, who was a hacktivist belonging to the Uprising Tide, a group of hacktivists attempting to expose agencies like S.H.I.E.L.D. and the U.S. government and all of them who have been hiding superpowered individuals from the public. Our first glimpse into S.H.I.E.L.D. shows us that Maria Hill is involved in the decision processes to some degree. We also see that Agent Coulson is still alive. If for anyone who saw the Avengers, we all assumed he was killed by Loki during his little scuffle. But no, he is revealed to be alive and well and was held in Tahiti, which he describes as a magical place over and over again. As Agent Coulson attempts to put together his new team, Sky manages to track down Mike Peterson and tries to warn him that agencies like S.H.I.E.L.D. will be coming after him. But he doesn't really believe her, so he kind of just brushes it off and just leaves her to do what she does. But she also steals his driver's license without him noticing, because she wanted to get more details on his backstory. So the episode continues with Mike Peterson attempting to find a job because he needs one. Who doesn't need a job nowadays? But he can't find anything because he was laid off due to an injury. He went to a doctor, this is earlier, before the episode even starts, and he was, how do I say it? He was treated, I guess, is the proper term, for whatever injury he suffered, but they treated him with something that if you saw Iron Man 3, you will recognize. He was treated with a device on his wrist, or on his arm, that gives him the Extremis virus, which, for anyone who saw Iron Man 3, gives you superhuman strength, a little bit of superhuman speed, not really though, endurance, stamina, but it also tends to make you explode, so that's not really a good thing. So let me consult my notes here. Yeah, we're also introduced to a variety of new S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Miss Melinda May, Grant Ward, Leo Fitz, and Gemma Simmons. Melinda May is brought on by Coulson to be the bus driver. Bus turns out to be a big-ass S.H.I.E.L.D. plane, which is a really cool-looking plane, I can't lie. Grant Ward is a newly graduated S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who's had the highest score since Agent Romanoff, who, for those of you who don't know, is the Black Widow. Leo Fitz and Gemma Simmons are two newcomers from the science department of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is their first field assignment, you can say. The first assignment that Agent Coulson's new team is given is to track down Sky and to find out what she knows about Rising Tide, about Peterson, about S.H.I.E.L.D. itself, since she managed to hack into them a few times, and to bring her in for questioning. Coulson and his team track Sky to her van, which she lives out of, where she is broadcasting that the rising tide can't be stopped or anything like that, and they bring her in for questioning. During the questioning, Coulson apparently injects Ward with the truth serum to get him to talk to Sky openly. So that he did this so that Coulson could establish a connection of trust with Sky. It was like, okay, You want to know what we know? I'll let my agent spill his guts to you. Which is actually a very smart move in a way. While Skye is interrogating Ward after Ward was injected with that truth serum, Melinda May, Leo Fitz, and Jem Simmons go to the building that blew up earlier in the episode, try to figure out what happened. And all they managed to recover is a security camera that was partially fried during the explosion. But they bring it back because Fitz believes he can pull some of the last images off of the drive that's inside of the camera. But as all that's going on, Mike Peterson, goes back to his old job at the factory to try to get his old job back, but his supervisor tells him, no, we let you go for a reason. But the extremist is starting to mess with Peterson's head, and he just goes ballistic. He throws shit everywhere, he almost kills the supervisor, all because he thinks that it's... he's just trying to get what's due to him in a way, you know? He just wants to have a good job so he can support his little kid. And I don't blame him. I would want to support my kid any way I could. After he does all of this, obviously he runs away. Doesn't want to get caught by the cops. Coulson and his team see footage of what he did. But Skye's like, this doesn't make any sense. He wasn't this irrational. He wasn't this violent when I saw him. And Coulson deduces that the extremist virus is starting to mess with his head, because they discovered from some of the images off of the camera that it was another extremist empowered individual that caused that building to explode earlier in the episode. So they're like, there's only a matter of time before the same thing happens to him, because extremis, as I mentioned earlier, is extremely volatile and cannot be, what's the best word? Sustained? No, not sustained. It can't be... controlled is the best word I can think of. It can't be controlled. As the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are piecing together the information from the camera, Peterson visits the woman that he saved at the beginning of the episode from the burning building in the hospital, and it's revealed that she's actually the doctor who gave him they call it a centipede on his arm that injects him with the extremis virus, keeps it going within him. Which is kind of weird to me, because in the movie, they didn't need anything like that. It was just an injection, but I guess that's what made it even more unstable. Skye agrees to help out Coulson and his team, but she has to go back to the original location they found her. She works from her van. She was able to hack into S.H.I.E.L.D., their database and all that, from her van. That is an extremely impressive display of intelligence. But she says that in order to help them out, she needs to get back to her van for her files. Which is true. But as they're there, they're ambushed by Peterson, who takes down Melinda May, who was sent to guard her, more or less. And he kidnapped Skye, thinking that he's helping her get away from S.H.I.E.L.D. Because remember, at the beginning, she told him S.H.I.E.L.D. was after him, so he thinks they're the bad guys. S.H.I.E.L.D. pursues him, of course, and they're trying to calm him down. They don't want to kill him, they want to bring him in, almost, you know. Not turn him into an agent, but he's an unregistered super, so they need to bring him in. But it turns out that as they're trying to bring him in, a third party is there, because, you know, there's the police, there's S.H.I.E.L.D., but there's a third party that I'm not entirely sure who they are yet. I'm only 3 episodes in, by the way, as I'm doing this first review. This third party of individuals that I'm still not sure who they are attempts to kill Peterson. I don't know why I think his name's Peter. They attempt to kill Mike Peterson in order to keep him from talking. But he is saved by Melinda May, who takes out the gunman who was trying to kill him. And then he has a heart-to-heart almost with Coulson. During that conversation, Ward shoots him in the head. Shoots Peterson in the head. And I got pissed for a second because I thought he died. But no, it was actually a serum that he was shot in the head with that kind of like counteracted the extremis. I'm not sure if it completely took it away from him or if it just suppressed it. I'm still not entirely sure about that part. But yeah, I thought he got killed for a second. I was like, no, this dude's cool. I don't want him to die. But no, he didn't die. He's all good. And Coulson is pleased with the results of this new team. So when all is said and done, Mike Peterson is in the hospital recovering. His little boy is safe because he was in the crossfire too. I forgot to mention that. I'm sorry. And, the team is repairing or, regrouping after all of that. Coulson approaches Skye and asks her to be a part of the team. He sees her as an asset. He says that he's bringing her on as a consultant, but we all know how a consultant turns out in a S.H.I.E.L.D. environment. And at the very end of the episode, as Coulson is trying to convince her to come in, he gets a call about an 084 that's been discovered. We don't get any information on what that is until next episode. When Skye questions what it is, Coulson's like, if you really want to know, you have to be with us all the way. And at the end, it's really cool. I don't know why, but I got super hyped when I saw it. Coulson has a hover car. I just think that is so cool. Like when he just pushed this button and it just turned into a hover car. Oh, that was so cool. So to recap, in the very first episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Maria Hill is shown. Agent Coulson is shown. There's multiple references to the Avengers. We even see flashes from the Avengers movie. Of Hulk, Thor, all of them. It's really cool. We have plenty of new agents in S.H.I.E.L.D. that we're exposed to. The Extremis Project is exposed, and there's multiple mentions of the Chitauri, the alien force that invaded New York. I'm not sure how long after the invasion of New York Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. takes place, but I'm assuming it's at least a couple of months. The Centipede group is discovered, who are the ones who gave Mike Peterson the thing on his arm that gave him his superpowers. The Rising Tide group is talked about, who Skye belongs to, and Coulson knows she belongs to. And like I said, Rising Tide is a group of hacktivists who are trying to expose the world's secrets that are out there. And we have hover cars. My reactions to the first episode, I really enjoyed it. It was well-paced, had some suspenseful scenes. I was like, oh man, what's going to happen next? Pretty good action, actually, for a TV show. And not that bad of visual effects, either. I mean, it's a Marvel TV show, what do you expect? I love that Coulson is in it. He was one of my favorite side characters from the movie, so him actually being more involved is really cool. I like the side characters I like the new S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. They're really cool. The two scientists are funny. Grant Ward is a badass. Melinda May is even more of a badass. We see just a little tiny glimpse of her badassness in this episode when she takes someone down and takes a big burly dude down in like under 30 seconds. And she's just this tiny little petite thing. And no, not saying you have to little petite women cannot kick ass, because that's been proven wrong multiple times. I'm just saying it's always funny watching a 250-pound dude get taken down by this 120-pound girl. And overall, I enjoyed the first episode. It was good. It got me hooked. Made me want to watch more. Any cons to it? No, not really. Actually, in the very first episode, I really can't think of anything really bad that happened that I was just like, oh, come on. Really? I mean, of course, the whole superpowered individuals thing is like, really? But who knows? They might be out there. You never know. So overall, I give this episode a 9 out of 10, really. Maybe even a 10 out of 10. So that is my review on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Episode 1. I'm sorry if it's not the best review out there. Like I said, this is my very first review episode. I still don't really know what to do. So I'm going to put this one up. Anyone who watches it, you have any advice for me? Like topics I should talk about during reviews, topics I shouldn't talk about during reviews. And like I said at the beginning, kind of pointless to say it at the end, but this video did contain a lot of spoilers for the first episode. I'm going to put that in like the title, in the description. I just want you guys to know there's a lot of spoilers involved with these reviews. If you want, I could do non-spoiler reviews as well. Try to like balance it out almost. But I'm not entirely sure how that would work. So yeah, let me know what I did wrong, what I did right, what you want to hear more about, what you want to hear less about. Just try to help me out as I figure out this reviewing thing. I would like to thank Joss Whedon, Jed Whedon, and Marissa Takaron for writing the first episode, and I'd like to thank Joss Whedon for directing the first episode. This is my first review episode. Let me know how you liked it, or how you hated it. And as always, guys, I hope you have a very good day. I hope you enjoyed my video. And thank you to all of my subscribers who stick around during all of my nonsense and all of my shenanigans and all that. Thank you all, and see you later.